Good evening, my brothers and sisters.
Good evening.
It's good to be back after being gone for almost 2 weeks. Today we celebrate the solemnity of Christ the King. And it is a great solemnity. But before I get going with my homily, I want to thank so many of you who have had us in our prayers. As you know, my mother-in-law passed away, and that was some difficult times we went through in the last few weeks. My wife was gone for about 3 or 4 weeks in California, and she received a lot of condolence cards from you and mass offerings for her mom. So we really, really thank you for all that. And, I also got to thank you because there's a rumor that one of your deacons is crazy. And this crazy deacon drove 70 hours to California, back and forth. And I want to tell you, I felt your prayers. I'm not kidding about this. I felt your prayers because there were so many occasions to get lost and to get into accidents. I put in almost 5,000 miles in my wife's car in less than 2 weeks. So I'm telling you, the prayers were felt. I felt it. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very much, all your prayers. Well, today, like I said, is a solemnity of Christ the King of all kings. So since we're talking about the greatest king of all, I want to tell you a story about this lion who thought he was a king of the jungle. Was very proud lion. And one day he's walking through the jungle, and he encounters this very meek, small little monkey. And he goes up to the monkey and says, "Monkey, who is the king of the jungle?" And the monkey bowed his head and said, You, Sir Lion, you are the king of the jungle. And the lion said, "You answered well. You can go in peace." So the lion keeps walking on the jungle, and now he finds a small little zebra, humble little zebra. He goes up to the little zebra and he says, "Zebra, who is the king of the jungle?" And the little zebra, just like the monkey, bows her head, and she says, You, Sir Lion, you are the king of the jungle." So now the lion was feeling very proud of himself. He's really proud of himself that he's the king of the jungle. So he keeps walking and he finds this big, strong elephant. And he goes up to the elephant. He says, "Elephant, who is the king of the jungle?" And the elephant picks him up with his trunk and throws against the floor 10 times, steps on him, picks him up again and throws against a tree and then steps on him a few more times. By this time, the lion is almost unconscious. The lion says to the elephant, Okay, I get it. You don't have to get so mad because you don't know the answer to the question." My brothers and sisters, today is the solemnity of our Lord Jesus Christ, King of the universe. The last Sunday in our liturgical year. Next Sunday we begin the season of Advent and start our journey to the life of Christ, culminating again next year in this great feast of Christ the King. Today is a great time to meditate on the following message. There is no authority outside love, and there could be no love without authority. Let me repeat that. There is no authority outside love, and there could be no love without authority. So today, as we celebrate the feast of Christ the King, we are called to work and obey this King. Since this King is the one who died on the cross and rose from the dead and is with his people. Today's feast explains to us a great deal about the other feasts throughout the year, because in today's feast we celebrate the reason as to why Jesus came to live with us as a man, fully human and fully divine. Jesus is not a controlling and dominating political figure. He is not even a benevolent dictator. Our King is a shepherd and a servant leader. Our King, and how can this be? Is it really a king if he tells us that he has come not to be served, but to serve. If he washes the feet of his disciples, the role of a servant. If he cares for us like a good shepherd cares for his sheep, and he's willing to leave the 99 to find the one who has gone astray, does this sound like a high and mighty king, a judge who sits on his throne, royal throne, that we need to fear? No, it does not. And thanks be to God that our king is a good shepherd and a servant leader. Although Christ has always been recognized by the Catholic Church as the King of Kings, the feast of Christ the King did not receive the official recognition until it was instituted in 1925 by Pope Pius XI. So what does Jesus as King mean? The Gospel today gives us a picture of what to expect of Christ the King. First, he judges. He judges us how closely we follow his example of a servant. Today's Gospel speaks about the final judgment. There clearly will be a judgment for all at the end of time. God will not take into account our knowledge, our degrees, our fame and influence, our wealth and possessions, the number of prayers we have recited, but instead, he will judge us by the gestures of charity to our needy brothers and sisters. He will judge us by our love. Whatever we did for our least brethren, we did this to Christ. Nobody will escape the judgment of the King who knows everything about everyone. Second, he rewards. God is just. He is not forgetful. Even the small acts of kindness each one of us does, he will reward those who forget themselves and reach out to others, the needy, because he identifies himself with other people. He will reward those that become servants like him. This is a beautiful Christian ideal to have before us, is that Jesus is in the other person. Jesus is in the person next to us, in the person we live with and work with. Jesus is in our spouses, our children, our neighbors, and all that we come across. One person in recent history who lived this is Mother Teresa of Calcutta. The following is part of one of her meditations. This is what she said. Jesus is the hungry to be fed. Jesus is the thirsty to be satiated. Jesus is the naked to be clothed. Jesus is the homeless to be taken in. Jesus is the sick to be healed. Jesus is the lonely to be loved. Jesus is the unwanted to be wanted. Jesus is the leper to wash his wounds. Jesus is the beggar to give him a smile. Jesus is the drunkard to listen to him. Jesus is the little one to embrace him. Jesus is the blind to lead him. Jesus is the dumb to speak for him. Jesus is the cripple to walk with him. Jesus is a prisoner to be visited. Jesus is the old to be served. Third, he punishes. Again, God is fair as well as merciful. He has enabled us to be of service to others. He has blessed us to be able to share with others. We don't lack opportunities to help others, for as Jesus says, the poor are always with you. He identifies himself with the needy. That is why Tobit advised his son Tobias, and we as well, with these words. Set aside part of your goods for almsgiving. Never turn your face from any poor man, and God will never turn his face from you. Measure your alms by what you have. If you have much, give more. If you have little, give less. But do not be mean in giving alms. By doing so, you will lay for yourself great treasure for the days of necessity. For almsgiving delivers from the dead and saves men from passing down to darkness. Alms is the most effective offering for those who give it. Christ, who went about doing good, is our model for living. If we want to walk in his footsteps, we must look for opportunities to help people. A Christian act may not be big or spectacular. It could mean finding time to visit old people and relatives and listen to their stories, or being caring and understanding to members of a family despite their weaknesses. It may not be material and physical needs you address, but the spiritual needs. If we want to enter heaven, we have to do those acts of mercy. They might seem hard, but that's the only way we can become fully human and fulfill our mission and reach our destiny. Today's solemnity is a good reminder for us to correct our relationship with God. Christ is King and Lord, and he should always remain as our King. This coming week, in preparation for Advent, it is a great time to meditate on my opening statement. There is no authority outside love, and there could be no love without authority. We must surrender our life to the King of Kings in order to grow in love and become like him. May God bless you. Don't forget that I love you.